also, when I share the experiences and the locations, I tried to add a little bit of how it impacted me and shaped me, because I started to realize after doing all these talks and shows, everybody is happy to say, oh, I went to Yorktown Hospital and investigated. Yeah, we had this, happen. And it's like, and that's it, we're done. And I started thinking, wait a minute, did that leave an impact on you? Did that affect you somehow? And so those experiences that I had that really impacted me, I share how it impacted me in the book. And so some locations may be like a short paragraph, just kind of like acknowledging I was there, and others may be a little bit longer because of what happened there and what it did in my mind and how it shaped what I was looking at. And I also talk about, equipment, if I use any equipment or if I don't, this is why. And it's like I give a heads up, don't rush to buy everything you see on TV. Play with it first on an investigation, because you may not like it and may not use it actually ever, and you just spent like $500 on equipment that's going to sit in your trunk. And so I kind of, I was like, it happens, but it was like I kind of gave fair warning of that. And so, yeah, I kind of wanted to give everyone a glimpse into what my paranormal journey has been and how it shaped me from meeting spirits at locations to the afterlife and how that's impacted me. So, and I even included UFOs, because I personally have the belief of the paranormal as anything unexplained, so I tried to put everything in there that to me was unexplained and fit in the paranormal.
So when I get this book, let's say if I get this book, what evidence do you have that ghosts exist? Is there some type of information in your book where I can see that you are a believer that ghosts do exist and you have the proof? Do you have something like that in your book?
So my personal experience, my personal paranormal investigating style isn't relying on data or relying on equipment to validate. It's personal experience. So like an example is I was at a location, Magnolia Bed and Breakfast in Seguin, and I put down where the location is in the book too, so if you want to go, you can. But I had a shirt where I was standing in a doorway, and I was in the middle of the doorway, so it's not like my shirt got caught on a nail, on the door frame trim, but I literally felt my shirt pluck. And the two ladies I was with investigating were on the other side of the room. So I share how I was standing in the door frame and I felt my shirt plucked. Now, I don't have it on film, and, I don't have, an audio recording or anything of that type, but everything I share is something personal that I've experienced, and it's my memory of it. And so, do I have scientific data? No. But I don't fake evidence, and I don't believe in that. And so, these are my personal experiences. So, if I say something happened, it's what I've seen or experienced happen.
I can get that. The one case that I had, and was in Citrus Heights. I've been on 2,500 investigations, and that one case made me a believer in the paranormal. Luckily, I had 15 scouts, paranormal investigators in training, that actually witnessed the events. And the events, I'll just say it real quick, pounding on the walls. Nobody else was pounding on them. Something out there was pounding on the walls. And then a little girl giggling. Everybody could hear it. There was no little girl at the investigation. And I put my head down on the corner of the bed where this little girl's voice was at. And I put my head down and I go, hello. And she said right back, hello, in front of 15 witnesses. So that was my documentation of the paranormal is real. There's other situations where I did things where I had no witness. You just have to kind of take me for my word. Where I'm sitting in a car, windows rolled up, I'm in the cemetery, and I say on my recorder, is there anyone here? I play it back and it says, I'm right behind you. Right behind my car. But, I mean, I had no witnesses to that. I have no scientific proof. You just have to kind of take my word. So, basically, what I'm asking is, so, if I read your book, is basically your word? Or is there, like, witnesses to the event or anything like that?
There are some witnesses to some of them, but I don't list, like, I don't name who I was with, on every investigation because, one, I didn't have permission to use names, and so I didn't want to take the time to hunt down everybody to ask them if it's okay to use your name, so I just shared my experience, and if I did mention, like, someone, I would mention the team name, so if they're not around, they were at that time, and so you can look them up, but I do have witnesses to a lot of stuff. Like, one example is I was at a military base, and we were in the store, and like you were saying, there's this giggle that you hear, this little girl giggle, and this one sounded a little digital, but not really digital, and so this couple from Chicago, and I don't remember their names because I only met them once, said to me, what is this giggling? Where is this doll, that's giggling? And I was like, there are no dolls that giggle. Everything has been turned off. All the animatronics are off. Everything is off for the investigation. And they go, well, we can time it. And I was like, yeah, okay. And so in my mind, I'm like, I was just here last night. There was no giggle. So I'm curious what's going on. And at the same time, I'm like, are these people trying to, like, prank me or play me and saying, is he going to admit to something that didn't happen? Well, sure enough, all of a sudden the giggle happened, and I heard it. And we spent about an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours that night trying to find where this giggle was coming from. And we would stand in a circle. We would stand in a straight line. We would stand in corners of the room. We could never get everyone to agree